Top 5 fits for Damien Martinez. And a tip of the cap today to Chris Hummer from 24/7 Sports, who we've had on the show before. One of the best when it comes to reporting on the portal. He put up a list of Power 4 teams and what they need in the portal today. Now, look, this doesn't mean that some of these teams don't need a Damien Martinez, but as far as contending teams or teams that he has a connection to, these are the ones that would fit him most, especially ones with need at running back. Number 5, Kentucky needs a running back. Look, they've got a transfer quarterback. They've got a transfer receivers. They had Ray Davis last year, who was a transfer running back. So would not surprise me to see them go in for Damien Martinez. He could fill that void that Ray Davis left in that offense with Liam Cohen coming back and Vandegrift, the quarterback who came in from Georgia, would be an interesting pairing there and would take a lot of pressure off of Vandegrift to be so good right away if you have a running back like Martinez.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him playing in the SEC and doing just fine for himself. I did go and look while I was away, and I do think this kind of caught some people off guard the way I expected it probably did with Damien Martinez. Maybe there was more heads up on the Beavers boards, but it did seem like it was pretty unexpected. So, yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a draw to play. I think in the SEC, Kentucky's a really solid program there with Mark Stoops. You outlined why that would be a fit with Ray Davis moving on. So, yeah, man, Kentucky's just got a plethora of options this week of possibilities. But yeah, that would make sense for them.
Number 4, Michigan State, Jonathan Smith. Duh. Like, I really don't need to say anything more about this one. Yep. That's his old coach right there at Michigan State. I put this at a little less likely just given the fact that he would probably buy into Jonathan Smith more than any others, but Jonathan Smith has a bit of a rebuild to do there. But, look, the best player they've had in the last couple of years is a transfer running back, in Kenneth Walker. So it wouldn't surprise me to see, having the backing from the NIL to go get who was his best player last year. So, again, would not shock me to see Michigan State because of the familiarity.
Yeah, I mean, he fits that offense. He fits exactly and knows exactly what they want to do, how they want to do it, and what they want from him. So, yeah, this is a no-brainer. I mean, this probably should – I mean, it's your list, but, I mean, if this was number 1, I wouldn't have blinked twice at it just because of the Jonathan Smith connection, Aiden Childs, et cetera.
When you see the top 3, you'll see why I'm saying this, because this is going to get financial.
But, yeah, this is the obvious choice because of the connections of a likely landing spot for him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 3, Tennessee. Jalen Wright, running back, gone. Actually led the nation in yards per carry last year, kind of quietly, I guess, given the fact that Tennessee didn't hit all their marks. But, look, you've got a young quarterback coming in Nico Amaliava. Again, just like the Kentucky logic, why not give him a steady Eddie running back like Damien Martinez? And we know that the Tennessee NIL Collective will go to all lengths, including fighting the NCAA in federal court to make sure their NIL is tip-top.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we saw that with old Nico there. First, that was one of the first examples of just kind of seeing, people are going to take it into their own hands, and that was one of the first big splashes, I guess, along with Jaden Rashada and I guess various others.
Quinn
Ewers, yeah, I was just thinking about him, yeah. But Tennessee, what an offense to play in. Josh Heupel and company do a tremendous job. They had a step back last year, and by step back, it was still a pretty good season. It was just not as great as the year prior, but they're on a good trajectory right now. A lot of excitement, and I could see why it wouldn't take much to convince you to want to go play in Knoxville and play in Neyland and be a part of what they've got going tradition-wise. So, yeah, Tennessee would be a very interesting spot for him.
Number 2, Miami. Again, they don't really have an established running back. They just went out and got Cam Ward. And, what better way to make your offense even more dynamic by going out and getting Damien Martinez, who's currently the best player available in the portal at any position. And look, I say available in the portal, that comes technically in a week. or so.
Well, in the next 5 minutes, that could change too.
Yeah, the NCAA, the portal kit is open all the time, and the school you're leaving has to pay for your flight. But yeah, Miami is an interesting fit because, again, they're pushing some chips in the middle of the table to see some success in year 3 under Mario Cristobal, a little bit more than they have so far. And I think he and Cam Ward would kind of be a fun pair, as much as it would hurt me in the pit of my stomach to see another good player go to Miami. But Mario Cristobal needs to start seeing some results. So not because I think he's in trouble, just because I think he needs to be able to sell it to people a little bit better that this is going to work outside the program, including those recruits.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some tough moments. Like, they've had some moments where you're like, okay, this thing's going right. And then there's some times where you're like, oh, God, like, is this ever going to get back on track? But, talk about a team, too, that's got the added sort of, this isn't going to affect them. Well, I guess we are several months away. I mean, we should have some sort of clarity on the ACC's future, I would hope, by this summer, as far as, like, having a better idea of sort of what to expect. But then again, I don't know. But Miami's also, kind of in a weird spot of, like, do they have a place at the top level, or are they kind of, like, settling back into a different world? But one way to cure all your ails would be to win big. And so, yeah, they're banking on Cam Ward, providing a big boost for them, going and grabbing another, highly touted Pac-12 standout from the Northwest, I think would be a good combination. I mean, Damien Martinez is not a guy that's just like a game breaker type, but he is a very good physical running back, and yeah, he can pile up the yardage. So Miami would make sense.
And number 1, missing Quinshon Judkins and the self-described portal king himself, Ole Miss. This would be maybe not a complete, like, I would take Quinshon Judkins over Damien Martinez,
for sure.
But if my consolation prize is Damien Martinez, I'm not that sad. That's just, he's a really, really good player. We know that. And Ole Miss is going for it. 12-team playoff first year. You've seen the NIL dollars they've put out so far, the guys they've gone and gotten on both sides of the ball. But they need a running back, and this would kind of cement them as even more of a real contender to not only be in the playoff, but with a returning quarterback and all that, contend to maybe win the SEC, which is not something that happened a whole lot at Ole Miss in their history.
Wasn't it just a year or so ago when they seemed to have 5 quality running backs at one point on their roster?
Yeah, but Quinshon Judkins left.
Well, whatever happened to Evans? Did he just run out of eligibility? The kid from TCU?
He went to the NFL.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then I think right now Logan Diggs is hurt, so there's a need more so than there was, when spring started, so to say. So yeah, I don't know the extent of that injury. I just remember catching that the other day. So there was a headline about them, seeking running back help. So because of that, yeah, Ole Miss would make a lot of sense. We know the baseline is $400,000, guys, right? Isn't that what we got by by whoever put out that information? Clearly from somebody very bitter at Oregon State wanted to pass along that information. That wasn't, I don't think, Damien Martinez's side of things of like, yeah, it's starting bid at $400,000, but Ole Miss, because of what they've shown through their collective and the way they've gone for it this offseason, as you mentioned, and a needed running back, yeah, they would definitely fit the bill and could foot the bill of Damien Martinez, his services for sure.
All right, Ball.
According to this, Jack just sent me this.